Hey everyone, welcome to my newest update video. And this update video is going to be a little bit different than a lot of my other ones. This one doesn't really have any sort of script or notes. It's going to be more vloggy, casual, rambly than a lot of my other ones, where I usually have something very specific I want to get into, and maybe a couple of side topics. But this one's just going to be kind of just me talking about various things, about the channel and whatnot. So probably not going to be super important to watch or anything, but if you want to watch it, you certainly can. So one of the things I did want to talk about is the new format that I tried, the listless reaction thing. And I'm doing that for 3 shows currently, I believe. Restage Dream Days, Tejina Senpai, and Machikado Mazoku. And the format, I definitely do like it quite a bit. Now, to refresh you on what that format is, basically, it's supposed to be something that's much more similar to a natural reaction that I would do, by myself. If I didn't have a camera on and had no real expectation or pressure to entertain an audience, that sort of thing. That was the idea behind it, and I've done it a decent amount at this point. And although I do like it, I feel like I kind of struggle a little bit to go to the ideal of it. Like I very clearly commentate more than I intend to. Especially with Tejina Senpai, but that one I think is mostly because it's a very fast-paced, short-form anime, so it's very condensed and so it probably for that case probably is an illusion to be commentating more than some of the other shows. Like Restage Dream Days, I think really is like the perfect candidate for my listless reaction format because there's less crazy things that make me feel compelled to commentate on them. The way Tejina Senpai does. And Machikado Mazoku I just enjoy a lot, so I talk a little bit more than I expect to on that one. Although, really, the thing with the listless reactions is not so much the commentating during the show. The bigger impact is the lack of the afterthoughts segments, because depending on the show, that could be quite a lot of extra talking, So, of course, with a show like Tejina Senpai, that wouldn't be much of an issue because that's very gag, move on to next gag, move on to next gag. There's really not much of an overarching plot to really get much into there. It would be just a matter of, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so was that. Oh yeah, that was a good laugh there. So, but Restage Dream Days I think really is a perfect candidate to showcase kind of what I was going for with that format. But anyway, the best thing about it is that it's just low pressure. That's really my favorite thing about it because reacting to anime is fun. I do it because it's fun. It's a hobby. It's definitely a hobby. Like, did not make anywhere near enough money to live off of from it. Like, not even remotely close. So it's supposed to be fun, and it is fun. However, like most things in life, it's not complete fun. There is certain pressure there. Whereas, like, okay, if I don't do a good enough job here, people won't like it. People will click the dislike button. Maybe they'll leave it unsubscribe if I really failed my audience there. But with these type of listless reactions, I turn all that off. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just here watching it. I'll probably talk a lot because I feel compelled to, but not if I feel a desire to, but not because I feel any need to, if that makes sense. But anyway, my overall point here is that I do like the format, even if a lot of the time it's not quite how I envisioned it turning out. I still like it. It's a more fun format than my usual one. And if you have been watching any of those shows with that style, feel free to let me know any thoughts on it, Because I haven't really got many comments on the actual format itself. I don't get many comments in general. Like, seriously, if you watch my videos, please comment. I don't get enough of them. I go to other random reactions on the internet and I see all these comments like, wow, this person actually gets comments. What am I doing wrong? Why don't I get comments if nobody actually watched my videos? So yeah, it doesn't matter what the comment is, really. I mean, within reason, as long as it's about the episode or my reaction to it. Like, you don't have to write some mini review novel as a comment for it to be worthy or anything, Just anything like, I like this episode. I think that girl's cute. This girl's best girl. This doesn't really matter. I just like reading comments as long as they're not the mean ones. But, that's pretty much everything on that topic. I currently have no copyright strikes. This account's still a copyright strike clean, which is great. Obviously, speaking of formats, I moved to this nothing but subs over black background format, which I think is working rather nicely. I didn't get any kind of real negative backlash from switching to that I was a little bit concerned about, so that's been going pretty smoothly. And actually, a reaction channel called Random Ramble Productions actually moved over to doing that sort of format, which is good that my way of doing things is spreading, as if I invented the concept, but which I didn't, Semblance of Sanity, I know, has done this format, I think, before me for some of their videos. I'm sure they do it a different way than me. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but it probably involves actual editing, whereas mine's just all through OBS, like all my stuff is, because I'm just lazy like that. But anyway, yeah. Ever since I switched to that sort of format, I've got no copyright strikes on any of those type of videos, which is good. That's always a good sign. And of course, in case anyone's confused about this, some shows I do still do show some of the actual footage at the bottom behind the subs, and those are shows that have been grandfathered in. Like, I don't really want to take a show that I already am doing a certain way and just switch it to a different one, because I have been on the other end of those sort of situations before, and it's never fun. So, shows that I started before that or agreed to react to before that via Patreon request, that's still that format. But once I've gotten through all those, it'll be just that black behind the subs format. I think my Mono Guitar reaction will probably be the final thing that's still like that. But yeah, once Mono Guitar ends, that'll probably be the final bit for that, and it will be fully switched over. So that's that. But yeah, the current anime season, I think it's pretty good, honestly. I think some of my favorite shows are probably my number one's probably Dumbbell non Kila Moteru. I love the anime. The opening's great. The ED's great. Love the cast of characters, and it's also very educational, which it's always a good combination when you can get a real good show and it's educational. Anytime a show can pull that off, it's definitely worthy of praise. And with the good songs and stuff, and Hibiki is love, Hibiki is life. And she's not even the only Hibiki of the season. There's also Tachibana Hibiki, which I do like better. No offense to the Dumbbell Hibiki, you're great as well, but just you can't compete with Yuki Aoi. Just it's really what it comes down to. But we also have some other good shows this season. What do we got here? But yeah, Simple Gear, of course. I'm glad to have that show back. I love that show quite a bit. If you're unaware, I am reacting to that as well. It's just a little bit hush-hush undercover because King Records is involved with it. And King Records is literally copyright devil, Satan. So gotta be very careful with that. There's a chance that my current format of doing things would be enough for them to not be a dick to me, but no guarantee. I'm not gonna risk anything with that. Let's see, what else? Uchinoko is also pretty good. Uchi Musume, as it's also called. A little bit more depressing than I expected to be at certain parts. People bullying poor Latina. But aside from that, I do quite like it. Even if Dale is a little bit annoying at times. You also got... I kind of want to do the listless reactions last here. Sonan Desuka is also really good. It's a short form, which always bothers me a little bit, but it is really good. Like the concept, a bunch of girls alone on an island together, where who knows what could happen. Girls learning survival techniques with each other, building friendship, having to do things that they don't really want to do for the sake of survival. The show kind of covers some pretty serious topics if you really think about it, but because it is framed in such a happy, moe, exciting way, the girls straight up dance in the opening, It's still a lot of fun, regardless, and I don't know, it's a very interesting anime. A little bit unique, I would say. And Karakai Jozu no Takagi-san is good to have a second season of that, because I quite enjoyed season 1. Takahashi Ri, one of my favorite voice actresses. Megumin still my favorite role, of course, but Takagi gives her a run for her money. Like, that just very good job. And yeah, those are some of the standout ones for the season. If you're not watching those, you should consider it, because those are all very much worth watching that I brought up. But yeah, as far as the listless reactions go, Machikata Mazaku is really good. That show really could be a standard reaction, and it would be, but, my schedule just kind of got filled up, so it had to be downgraded to that. But it's still very much a very good show. You should watch it if it looks like it appeals to you at all. It probably does. It's not super actiony, so don't expect that, of course, but it is very good, very cute, very funny. Shamiko is amazing. And Momo is pretty great, too. Tejima Senpai, that's a show that I know a lot of people wanted me to react to. Like, I got a lot of comments. Well, I can't say that because I don't get a lot of comments, but a lot of the comments that I do get were Tejina Senpai, are you gonna react to Tejina Senpai? You'd love Tejina Senpai, it's right up your alley, you know. Why aren't you reacting to Tejina Senpai? Like, I got a lot of that. And I can tell why people think I would like that show. I mean, just look at it. And they were not wrong. It is definitely a very good show, very funny. The Senpai, Tejina Senpai, I do like her a lot. Definitely like her a lot. She is, she really makes you want to root for her, you know? Her magic doesn't always work very well. She's got stage fright, but she does her best. She shows her Pantsu what's not to love, really. I mean, she's a little bit of a baka, but your heart's in the right place. You know, that's what matters. But yeah, very entertaining show, very funny. And Restage Dream Days, I mean, that's a good show, but you do kind of have to like idol anime to watch it. But if you have even a slight like of idol anime, Restage Dream Days is definitely worth watching. Very good stuff. I haven't gotten super far into it. I think I'm 3 or 4 episodes into it, but I definitely have liked what I've seen. Past expectations, any idol fan should definitely give it a try. Let's see, I think that's everything I really wanted to mention. There's another show this season that I'm not reacting to or watching yet. I don't remember the full title, but basically like Okasan Online, Mom Online, some sort of mother isekai show thing. I'm not reacting to that one. However, it was requested as a Patreon-powered reaction, but it's at like the bottom of the waiting list, so it's not going to happen for a long time, but I will, as a result, react to that at some point. That kind of leads me into what I want to talk to as well. Just kind of give a basic overview of my channel, because people always trickle in, you know. A lot of people are unaware of various things, so I do want to explain various things. I have a Twitter. I mean, you can see it on my overlay and stuff. I have a Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you have a Twitter. I don't tweet a lot because I just can't think of things to tweet most of the time. However, I have one, and I want more followers because I'm pretty close to triple digit. Let's check what I'm at real quick. So you just go to profile. 91 followers. That's pretty close to triple digit. I want triple digit follower count. So if you have a Twitter, follow me. I don't tweet a lot, so it's not like I'm gonna fill up your tweet line, whatever you call it. I'm not much of a Twitter person, really, but I have one. So if ever I lose my channel or something, you know, I can notify people through that. So it would be a good idea to follow me on there if you like my videos, which I assume you do after watching this one. I'm comfortable in that being a safe assumption. So I have that. I have a Patreon, which, you know, if you have the means to, I would like you to support me on that. There's some benefits to it, like polls you can vote in, early access to certain reactions, and the ability to actually, you know, request a anime reaction, you know, which is probably one of the bigger benefits. So, yeah, I definitely really appreciate people that do that because I am a poor person, and the more support you give me, the better off I am. You know, not only can I replace equipment that breaks down, which it does, like, for those of you who've been around for a while, you'll know that I once had a hard drive die on me, which I had to replace. I delayed videos a lot. But anyway, support helps with things like that, and also just to buy food, you know. Half my meals are top ramen, so any support helps with that as well, you know. But anyway, that's a thing as well. I do have an actual recording schedule, which the listless reactions are an exception to that. Those are just whenever I feel like it, because those are meant to maximize enjoyability and naturalness. But I do have a schedule. You can find it in a couple different places. My About page on my YouTube channel, if you can find that, if it actually loads. That one's not updated as often, but it's there. The one that's updated more often is actually on my Discord server. I have a text channel that shows my recording schedule. And I don't update it, either of them as frequently as I should, but the Discord one is updated more frequently just because it's easier to do. But yeah, if you ever want to know what I react to when, that's that. It does change a little bit. I do have to move things around, especially at the start of a new anime season, because my Patreon-powered reactions very much go wherever I can fit them, and where I can fit them changes upon the new season, because for obvious reasons. Some shows air Friday in one season, and sometimes shows will air on a different day. So those move around, so you always want to check back on that after I've moved things around in the new anime season. Of course, for the currently airing stuff, you don't really need to consult the schedule because that's usually on the day that it airs. Unless something airs on my day off, in which case that would have to be moved somewhere else. And that is another thing. I do have a day off Sundays because I decided I needed a day off this season. I made one for myself on that Sunday where I make sure I have nothing scheduled there. It's not impossible a video would pop up on that day if I just like felt really compelled to do something, like something special, like it's like non-reaction, just something I just wanted to, something for fun I want to do real quick. Maybe I would do that on that day when I feel like I just have nothing better to do. But in general, that's supposed to be a day off, so don't expect the videos on Sundays. If a currently airing show aired on that day, I would move it to somewhere else. So that's that. Another good thing to mention to people. And I need more water again. And yeah, another thing, I do kind of want to try experimenting with other types of content, so if you have any ideas, feel free to leave comments about that. I still want to be somewhat anime related, you know? Like, any kind of Let's Play I would do on this channel would have to be anime-ish game, like a JRPG or a visual novel or something. Like, you kind of want to keep that anime theme for the channel. So there's that, but, just various things I think about doing. There's some things I want to do that I just can't really do because I don't have the following for it. Like big anime tubers like Lost Pause or something, they'll sometimes do these sort of Twitter type videos where he'll ask a question or something for people to do or to send him like memes or whatever, and then he'll make a video of him kind of looking at that. So anything like that you need a big following for. That's just an example, but there's some things I do kind of want to try that I just don't have the following for. Live streaming is kind of one of them. Live streaming is one thing I thought about doing because I like the idea of being able to just kind of like be up here, have a chat go by, and I just talk to them, like I'm a real person interacting with them, rather than just being like a TV show that they watch or whatever. But then again, I imagine myself doing that. I imagine the chat being empty. Maybe there's like one guy that's there that talks to me that doesn't leave because he'd feel bad leaving me alone. Like that's how it would probably end up because I have such a small following. But just something I just kind of think about. Want to let people know about that as well. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, even if you don't want to, support me on Patreon, you can. It's still worth checking at least the page because I actually list what my current Patreon requested reactions are on that page in like blue text it is right now, with a very vague estimated time of when it will complete that one. And then when one completes, the top one from the waiting list will bump up to that slot. The waiting list is in purple and below that. So, because I see people all the time be like, wow, you're reacting to this anime all of a sudden. That's such a surprise to me. And I'm sitting there like, I had this on a list for a while. You can see what's going to pop up after something else finishes, right? Like, it's not like it's meant to be a surprise. I'm not trying to rag on anyone with that. I'm just saying, a lot of the stuff is out there that you can look at. You can look at the waiting list. Like I recently started up Hanasaku Iroha. It's currently in early access only, but that replaced Zetsu no Tempest. And if you look at the list over there on my Patreon page, you'll see the number one up there would be Shimoneta, which is going to be a semi-blind reaction. But that's there, and that will pop up as soon as another current Patreon requested reaction finishes, which would most likely be K-On! Season 2 semi-blind reaction. When that one finishes, with the estimated date of August 19th, then Shimoneta would take its spot. So, like, you can tell because of that, I do keep that up pretty up to date. So, another thing I wanted to mention, but anything else that I want to mention in this silly, ridiculously long update video that nobody's going to watch? Not really. I mean, I'm continuing to study Japanese. I have mentioned that before as well. I'm currently focused on kanji, going through that, while at the same time watching raw anime and stuff to develop my listening skills. And then once I actually finish up going through all the kanji, then I will strongly focus on vocabulary, making Anki flashcards for those and stuff, and mining vocab sentences from anime and manga and stuff like that. But for now, the focus is kanji and listening practice, basically. That will probably be the case for a couple more months until I finish kanji, and I'll move on to that sort of thing. Let's see. Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything. So, if you sat through this whole video, then congrats, you're pretty amazing. And I hope you stick around and watch more of my videos in the future. So